Here we go, guys. The Bears have wrapped up their second OTA practice of the week. Let's go ahead and get right into it. First off, Nate Davis returned to practice today, taking part in some team drills, but not practicing the entire portion of the day. Montez Sweat is also in the ramp-up period. The Chicago Bears official Twitter page showed off a clip of Sweat, and he looks perfectly ready to go for the season. Great news to start the day. On the downside, Braxton Jones did not practice today. Eberflus said it was just precautionary and nothing to really be concerned about. Same with Cole Kmet and Tyler Scott, who also both missed practice, although both were seen on the stationary bikes on the sideline. But now let's talk about practice. Go ahead and channel your inner Allen Iverson. We talking about practice. I love the back and forths that have been going on between the offense and defensive sides of the ball. Ups and downs with both sides winning battles and competing. Guys are chirping at each other and going back and forth. Today was no different. You'd see the difference in back-to-back plays as Tremaine Edmonds would come away with a big interception on our rookie quarterback on one play, but then Caleb Williams threw a bomb down the field for a touchdown pass to Velus Jones Jr. on the very next play. Velus beat second-year corner Terrell Smith on the play, and it was called the play of the day by most people in the media. Caleb Williams in the offense also had success on the 2-minute drill as he completed passes to Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen, and Roschon Johnson before Cairo Santos would boot in a nice field goal to top it off. An interesting side note here is Jalen Johnson took offense to the completion numbers that were reported on Caleb Williams last week. Jalen reminded the media that whenever the QB has to roll out of the pocket in 7-on-7s, that's a win for the defense. And another thing noted today was the pass rush seemed to hold up and stop after just a couple of steps. Something else to really note here is we are practicing without pads, and there's no contact permitted until training camp. One thing to keep an eye on, though, is Kyler Gordon, who is going to learn a ton from Keenan Allen out of the slot. I'll talk more about that in just a minute. But the star of the day was Tory Taylor, our fourth-round pick, the punter out of Iowa. He had multiple punts land inside the 5-yard line, with 2 downed at the 1-yard line, according to Herb Howard. And that's to go with 3 additional punts that were downed inside the 10. On a windy day at Hallis Hall, our new punter is already showing off his special leg. I'm so excited for what Tory Taylor can bring to our special teams unit. And then there were also some press conferences today as well from Matt Eberflus, Kyler Gordon, Jalen Johnson, Teven Jenkins, and more. Eberflus spoke about Caleb Williams' phenomenal ability to throw on the run and how the Bears' offensive staff needs to utilize that as a weapon on the field this season. And that is honestly the biggest difference between Justin Fields and Caleb Williams, what they do with their arm. Justin created dynamic plays with his legs outside of the pocket, but Caleb specializes at dissecting defenses with his arm. I love that Matt Eberflus specifically pointed that out today, and he also talked about how we have more weapons on offense. 3 different, highly skilled receivers who all bring their own unique skill set to the table. Eberflus said most of these guys will surely help Kyler Gordon elevate his game. Most of you guys know that Kyler is one of my favorite players on the roster, and I expect big things out of the third-year corner. Getting to line up against these guys, specifically a veteran like Keenan Allen in practice every day, is only going to make Kyler Gordon better and better. Another interesting note from Matt Eberflus, though, was he seemed to mention the right guard job is open for competition right now. He was asked specifically who would start at right guard, and Eberflus said he didn't know. And he talked about a competition between Ryan Bates, Nate Davis, and Matt Pryor, who was the tackle we signed in free agency, and he's taken reps at guard with Nate Davis being out. Thankfully, we had Herb Howard in the media. He would double down on this and ask Flus straight up, is Nate Davis not expected to start at right guard? I love how Herb pressed him on that, and Flus seemed to change his tune a little bit and say that, yeah, Nate has been our starter there, but he certainly seemed to leave the door open for a competition at right guard. As always, we know the coaching staff is always looking to find the best five on the offensive line. So maybe it was just that. But maybe if Shelton Coleman wins the starting center job like I expect, maybe that will set Ryan Bates up to challenge Nate Davis for his starting spot, something to keep an eye on throughout the offseason. And then a little bit more on Kyler Gordon, aka Spidey. He would also come out and speak to the media. He talked about raising the standards on this defense in year 3. This is the third year that Kyler Gordon, Jalen Johnson, and Jaquan Brisker will get to play together in the same secondary. There is legit hope that all three of those guys can take an even bigger step this year, with Tyreek Stevenson expected to improve in his sophomore campaign, plus the addition of all-pro safety Kevin Byard, and this defense has an intimidating presence back in that secondary. I haven't felt this confident about a Bears defense since 2019, but these guys are much younger and the upside is even higher. Almost every player that spoke today talked about iron sharpening iron. It's honestly becoming the theme of the offseason now, having an exciting and explosive offense while also having a dynamic and exciting defense to challenge it. And then my guy Tev also spoke to the media. He was asked about getting an extension done. He said him and his agent did reach out to the front office, but nothing is on the table right now. Man, I just really want Tev to be here long term. Really tough to hear that from Tev. He talked about his goal this season, staying healthy 17 games, and proving that he's one of the best guards in the NFL. I really want Tev to be a Bear long term, one of the absolute best dudes on this roster. He was also asked if the team has any plans to move him back to right guard to play next to Darnell Wright, and he simply said no. I want nothing more than to see Big Tev stay healthy all season and dominate defenders. And then finally, Jalen Johnson talked about the goals of winning 10 plus games this year and making the playoffs, something he hasn't done since he's been here. We made the playoffs his rookie year at 8-8, but lost to the Saints in the wild card matchup and haven't been back to the playoffs since. That is something that all of us Bears fans are rooting for as well. You can feel the energy and the excitement coming from Hallis Hall. We have one more day of practice tomorrow. Let me know how you guys are feeling. Hope you guys enjoy the clips that I threw in as well. Thanks to everybody who watches. Please remember to hit that like button for me. And until next time, bear down.